Okay guys, so apparently there's another different ending. Well, at least some parts of the story that I didn't find the last time. So I want to try it and see what's gonna happen. So yeah, I think what I need to do is set. Okay, let's see what's gonna happen now. The picture finally cleared up. But the moment I rejoiced at finding that weird signal again, the TV started coughing, a voice barely coming through the cacophony. He was often seen at the moment when small snowy hills were lined up on the screen, pierced with rickety crosses, and a male voice was narrating with a slow, mournful voice. It was a pitch-black night at the cemetery. In that fateful dark time, little Senya met her fate at the face of a monstrous thicket dweller. I think Senya is a guy's name, so like why is it her fate? Okay, maybe it's like Senya for like Senya or something. Okay. The locals call him none other than the Forest Master. I froze and did my best not to move, as if by doing that I could scare away the narrator. I listened closely to his every word. The beast dealt with the helpless girl in a masterful manner. The camera panned across the snow with something black spilled over it, looking for ragged pieces of cloth that were thrown around all over the place. I didn't want to think whether Senya's remains were wrapped in there, so I shut my eyes without thinking. Dude, this is so freaking creepy. The voice continued. Wolves are rare guests in these parts. Here's what Tamara, the old woman that lives in a nearby crypt, had to say. A close-up shot of the face of an old homeless woman, weary from life and alcohol abuse, rattled on the screen. Yes, yes. Such a fearsome beastie it is, worse than the rising dead. The old woman splattered saliva all over the rectangular mic. Wow, that's the Beastmaster. And this thing, it's like... The rest of her comparison was swallowed up by the sound of a horn. I've never felt anything like that. It was just standing there, yes, right where you stand, boyo, and pierced me with its eyes, right in the middle of day. It was so huge, that one, with glassy eyes. Obscenities were covered by another beep. You know, they say if this demon lays its eyes on you, it'll snatch you, put you into its bag, and you are done. But he won't touch me. Likes me, it seems. So they even call me the devil's wench. And it's definitely true. The carnivorous monster will not touch those who fell to the level of forest beasts, going for the innocent child's blood instead. The Forest Master's presence is felt more and more on the outskirts of our country. Torn between believing in what was said and shrugging it away, I decided to record the remaining part of the documentary for some reason. I quickly grabbed the tape that was on the top of the TV and put it into the VCR without even looking at the cover. Okay, this is so gonna be the freaking Peter Pan, right? I pressed rec, turned the sound up, and paid attention to the slipping signal. It's not called the Forest Master for nothing. All of the animals obey it, be they hairy or feathery. They're all precursors for its appearance. If you hear howls in the distance, then it most likely already knows where you live. If you find animal prints all over your doorstep and birds watching you from the trees, you'd better hide. It's already coming for you. And if you wake up at night and see a pair of eyes in your window, then soon, okay, there will be a jump scare, right? Soon, yeah, that was obvious. Dude, look at this thing. The TV suddenly went mad and looped the last word over and over, piercing my ears. This is so freaking creepy. I got goosebumps all over my spine. The tape ended and was rewinding to the beginning. The sound of rustling tape reminded me of leaves in the wind and the low howl of the beast. I woke up from my stupor and pressed the button. The VCR ejected the tape. For a moment I thought it was stained with saliva, but that was just the light from the chandelier making the black plastic glossy. And then I saw the cover. Yeah, Peter Pan. Of course. Oops, I recorded it over Peter Pan. That's what I get for hurrying. It was bad enough that I ruined Olya's cartoon, but I also put this creepy stuff over it. I can't let her see this. We'll drown in tears. I snuck a glance at the door. I could hear the clatter of glass and the squeaky floorboards. Olya appeared in the doorway. You haven't started without me, have you? My sisters brought the tray with unevenly cut bread and a whole can of condensed milk. No. I was looking for the tape. Do you really want to watch Peter Pan? I do! Tone it down already. Mom will come watch her Brazilian drama soon. Yeah, in the 90s it was like very popular in Russia. Come on, think, fake detective. You know, I didn't like Peter Pan. Maybe we should watch Little Mermaid instead? I've already seen it so many times. And you promised me. She's so stubborn. I know, let's watch a couple of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles episodes first, deal? Olya frowned, but ultimately gave up. She put down the tray and crossed her hands on her chest. If you want it so much... Can you open the milk can? I'm afraid I'll cut myself with the sharp edges. As soon as I stood up, colorful dots popped up before my eyes and my sore legs were pierced by thousands of needles. Only when I reached the sofa I realized that the can was already open. Olya had tricked me, played me for a fool. Ah, she's a smart girl, okay. My stomach became heavy. I wanted to rush toward the TV, but my little sister was faster. She picked up the remote and proclaimed in a victorious tone, "Gotcha! Gotcha! Gotcha!" As the remote's master, I commanded you to watch Peter Pan. I couldn't even open my mouth, and the VCR had already eaten the cursed tape. She'll play it, and then... Black crosses on unnamed graves, empty crypts, bloody scraps on the snow, and the insane devil's wench. I'd better tell the truth. Olya, stop! I erased the end of your tape by accident. I'll trade it with you for 2 of mine. What do you mean? You couldn't erase it. Me and Dad had broken off all those plastic pins with a screwdriver. You can't record anything over my cartoons now. My little sister pressed the triangular play button on the remote. I squeezed on the inside, awaiting the out-of-this-world voice of the narrator. But I saw the duel between Peter Pan and Captain Hook instead. I sighed in relief. My head, heavy as a leaden ball, now rested in my hands. Olya smiled in joy. She put the tape on rewind and started spreading milk over her bread. And when the cartoon started, she forgot about everything in the world. As if she really got transported to the Neverland like she always wished. To be honest, I also imagined myself there, in a land where one never ages, where no one argues over little things, where no one listens to fights and the sound of broken plates at night. But now Peter Pan's land was especially far away from me. My thoughts dragged on, stumbled upon the horned beast that awaited me among the trees, and the narrator's mournful voice haunted me, sliding over bushes and ravines, like a winged carnivore would track its prey. It felt like I was dreaming with my eyes still open. Then my sister's scream pulled me back to reality. "Tony, shut the curtains, fast!" "Why?" "No one's watching you." "It's dark, and when it's dark, the all comes." I'm scared." I got out of bed, fighting my drowsiness, and closed the curtains. Okay, let's close them. I did my best not to look outside toward the treetops, toward the taiga forest, which seemingly drew closer and closer. Of course, it was just a visual effect from shadows of branches scraping the snow. Tony, Mom thinks I made it all up, and Dad too. Thinks I'm a liar since I'm small. But it all exists. Honestly, it does. You do believe me, right? That it comes every night and... I swiftly grabbed Olya's hand and looked her in the eyes. I was trying to transfer at least some of my courage and determination. But did I really have those qualities? Yes, I believe you, alright? Just don't nag our parents about it anymore. They are already dealing with a lot, so they'll just get mad at you. Come and tell me if anything happens. And don't look out the window. But it wants me to look. Doesn't matter. Act like it doesn't exist and never existed. Like it's made up, just like Mom and Dad say. It'll get tired of waiting and fly away. Okay. Wait, so what happened to the tape? Like, did I actually record stuff over it? Or like, I didn't. We followed Peter Pan's adventures as if nothing had happened. As if the forest didn't kidnap kids. As if our parents weren't tearing each other apart bit by bit. Captain Hook was running away from a crocodile and Captain Pan was headed to London on a gilded sailboat. By some miracle, I lasted longer than my little sister. Olya's eyelids had dropped. She started snorting lightly, resting her chin on the side of the bed. The chorus was singing the ending song. The world of Disney was lit up by a silvery moon. Okay, so another moon peeked from under the first one, scary and wan, hanging over the taiga forest. The horrific report got recorded right over the credits. My throat went dry. My pulse became faster. I looked over at Olya. She smacked her lips in her sleep. I squeezed the remote with all my might, ready to press stop any moment. I rewound the recording, checked if it was intact, and then carefully took out the tape. The protective pin was still in place. I stood up and left Olya's room. Whether it was by providence or by curse, I hid the tape at the exact moment Mom peeked into my room. Enough playing around. It's your first day at school tomorrow. Go to bed. You should sleep properly. Okay, I think this is like this gameplay that I didn't take the mittens, right? Because I didn't have them in the locker. This thingy. Oh, an exception has occurred. What? Okay. Ignore. You don't want to be teased for being sleepy, right? Adults think everything is so simple. As if sound sleep would ensure my classmates would like me. I covered myself with a blanket up to my neck and listened to the house humming, to something invisible rustling in the corners. My inner voice had a question for me. Do I want to hear the mysterious flute again? Yes or no? Maybe it's just a part of growing up and I can't fully understand my own desires. The forest wailed behind the barrier that was my walls. Some ethereal entity wandered the fields. Branches shook as if calling for me. The wind howled on and on in the night. My thoughts were like annoying flies that entered my head before becoming weak and tangled. I didn't notice how I fell into slumber. Okay, so I think this is the... yeah. So, well, that's it. That's the part that I missed. Hopefully the second episode and the rest of the story will be available soon. Well, it was fun. Hope you enjoyed it. Give this video a like if you enjoyed the content. Subscribe for more and take care, guys. See you later.